I got rid of my intrusive thoughts, the same ones that got me hospitalized for self-harm, and I got rid of them by gamifying them. So if you follow this little trick that takes like 2 seconds to implement, then you will never have to suffer from those silly thoughts again. The first thing you have to realize is that there are 2 types of thoughts that we want to get rid of. Intrusive thoughts are thoughts that make you relapse and thus make you hate yourself. So for example, you're thinking about like a porn video you watched a while ago, you think about like a gacha game banner, an anime that you're watching or watched, a YouTuber. All of those thoughts are going to make you go on your phone, escalate into a scrolling session, which will escalate to a relapse and then hating yourself. I just want to make this clear. There's never a thought that hates yourself on its own unless you did something that makes you hate yourself, like relapse or failure or waste time or procrastinate. The second thought is random thoughts. And these thoughts are when you're going about your day mindless, not really thinking about anything, where you can't even remember what you were thinking about, which make life seem boring and dull and repetitive, which amplifies any negative aspects of life and make you see only negative hatred thoughts. So those are the 2 thoughts, and if we track them, if we track every time you think one of those thoughts, like a score in a game, your brain becomes aware of what it's thinking, and now that it can see it, now that it's aware of it, now that it's aware that you thought one of those 2 thoughts, it can decide whether or not it's going to intake that thought. The best way to track those thoughts so your brain will actually become aware of them and actually filter them out of your mind so they don't bother you, so they don't make you go insane, is to set a goal to track 10 intrusive thoughts and 30 random mindless thoughts for today. Then grab a pen and physically mark your hand every time you are randomly thinking about an anime, about a video game, about some scenario, about your next test, about how you're going to act in public. And what will happen is that now that you have the intention, the goal, and the physical action of tracking every time you think something that's gonna fuck up your mental health, you're now training yourself on all of the insane thoughts you're getting. And now that you're training to become aware of them, they won't infiltrate your brain and make you fucking go insane. So right here, right now, like as you're watching this video, get a pen, write on your hand INT for intrusive, and then write RAN for random mindless thoughts that make the day feel like a repetitive agonizing cycle. Set a goal for 10 intrusive thoughts and 30 random thoughts, and now with that intention, you will become aware of every single thought you're thinking about. And if it's a thought about like an addiction or something that wastes your time, you mark INT. And if it's just like a random thought about like a scenario that happened yesterday or overthinking about someone, mark down RAN. And now that you're actively keeping score of what thoughts are going into your mind, you can choose whether or not you want to act on it. That's how you don't just like randomly go on the hub, because now you're focused on identifying what thoughts you're getting. Is this a thought that's gonna make you eventually relapse and will thus make you hate yourself? Or is it a productive thought that doesn't need to be logged, and so it's free to enter your brain? Now there are no intrusive, impulsive thoughts that are going to make you relapse. Now you're not going to hate yourself. Now you can filter the thoughts that make you go insane, that make you relapse, that make you feel like life is a fucking mess. You can filter them from the good, productive thoughts that actually make you lock in, get work done, and be productive, and actually improve your life. But your life is still a mess. Sure, the intrusive, violent, self-deprecating thoughts are being filtered out, but it doesn't mean that they're gone. They're only filtered out. And so you still have to deal with suicidal thoughts. You still have to deal with waking up every day wondering whether or not you should actually exist. You're still going to experience them. So if you're done dealing with life's painful ass existence and want to permanently stop suffering once and for all and get it over with quickly, kind of like killing yourself, DM me on Discord, because I have made people like Kevin, Yumi, Broski, Abdul, who were all at their lowest point in life, like days away from suicide type level. I made them actually get to a point where life is fun, not where life is fine, where you're dealing with those intrusive thoughts, I got all of them to a point where they don't even have to deal with those thoughts at all. Now, for them, life is amazing. Every day they wake up with energy, with life, with actual, like, hype. And for all of them, that transformation happened in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Not even fucking therapy can do that. So if you are deadass trying to get your annoyingly repetitive, painful life finally fucking over with, just DM me on Discord, and 2 weeks later, life will be amazing.